When you were first born, you were born on the land and you were born a non-citizen national. You're not considered a citizen until they create the bond, which is your social security number, your super slave number, right? And you register the birth certificate. Through that, then they create the 14th Amendment citizen from that bond. And so what we do is we go and we take that bond back and we put that into your trust. So now you actually have control of your ens legis, and that's the technical term. Excuse me, it's Latin. It's called ens legis, and it just means creature of the state. And that's because that's what they've done is they've created this fake entity which is taxable, which they can control because it's a dead entity, right? And it's just like any other corporation. It's just another entity that they create that then they can control that and they can tax it and they can kind of, they can impose their will on you through regulation, through ordinances, and all of that good jazz that we know as our legal system. And it doesn't matter if it's lawful or not, they can plop their legal system on top of it. And that's kind of how they get away with it. And that's all we do is we take you back and we say, okay, well, we were infants, first of all, when that happened. And so it's all fraud and swindle to begin with. And there is no limitation on fraud. So we go back and we say, okay, we actually rescind all of that. We're taking all of that back. We get you separate EINs and all of this good jazz, but that's really how it helps to kind of bring you out of the public and back to the land, as some people would put it. And that's just because that's the raw self when you were born, right? Who you actually were, which is the creation of God, right? That's the only one that we should actually be serving any sort of allegiance to is God. Everything else is a false prophet. And there's lots of that going on, right? So God created man created society, society's created governments. And that's that which you create, you control.